Our Tuesday 2 circuit, 20 minutes each. We have a run before, middle, and end. So circuit 1 is in here, and we're starting with 40 seconds of a high-low plank. So we're just in this plank position. Okay, back is nice and straight, and we're going down into our high plank, and then pushing up, and then alternating the hand that we push up with. So here, and then come down. And now I'm pushing up with my left hand. That way, the shoulder that's doing the first major move is alternating, so you're not just working one side. So with this, when you go down, it's not a drop the hips and go down. You want to keep those hips up and keep that back nice and flat so that when you get to here, your back is in that neutral position every time, okay? So, you've got 40 seconds, watch the clock on that. Then we have a barbell alternating split jerk. So we're here, okay? We're starting with this barbell high, okay? And we're in a bilateral stance. And then when we go to push, we're alternating that split stance. And then you can just come back down, put those feet back together, and then it will be the opposite foot forward, okay? So a little bit like yesterday, how we did that, that dumbbell lunge with the split jerk. Same thing, we're gonna start bilateral, and then as you go overhead, you're just splitting those feet. Again, trying not to sway that back, keeping that pelvis at neutral, using that core and that full exhale to make sure that your back and spine stay in that neutral position. Okay, you can use a weighted bar on that too. So if you feel like you just can't stop your back from catching that, then go ahead and use one of our weighted bars. We have 3 different weights on those, okay? So you have 8 of those alternating, so 4 on each side basically. Then we go into a dumbbell split stance bent over row. So we're in that split stance again. So if the dumbbell is in my left hand, my right foot is the foot that I'm putting my weight on, okay? So I'm hinging back at that waist. I'm not bending. It's more of that hinge. My back is flat. This foot back here is just for slight balance, okay? So I don't want any weight. I want weight in the heel of this forward foot. And I'm just gonna row this dumbbell up. Okay, with this row, we're not rowing like this. We're rowing till your arm comes pretty much parallel with your body, and then you're giving a slight twist of that core. You're pushing this shoulder down as this shoulder kind of comes up, and you'll get a little more core activation there. With this, when you're in that bent over position, make sure that your core is drawn in nice and tight, and you're not just rounding that back and bending over. You're actually in that neutral position. Your shoulders, are down and away from your ears as you're rowing. So you're gonna do 8 and then switch your feet and do 8 on the other side. Then we go into a split stance lateral raise. And this is contralateral, so the weight is in my right hand. Again, the weight of my body is on this opposite leg, okay? This back leg, again, just for balance. I want the heel of my foot to be where I'm putting the pressure, so my big toe should be able to move pretty freely as I do this, and I'm raising that dumbbell out laterally, okay? Here, trying not to do much of this to get that dumbbell up. I want to keep my hips nice and stable, my weight in this leg, and I'm raising that dumbbell up laterally, okay? So these ones, you don't need a lot of weight because it's more about the range of motion. I would rather you guys get a full lift, staying nice and stable, than try and take a 45 dumbbell and do this 10 times, okay? So pick a weight that allows you to get that full range of motion in that shoulder while keeping that core stable. Then we have high knee box taps. So if you have any of the boxes, we're just going to go up and we're just tapping our feet here for 30 seconds, okay? So that should jack your heart rate up pretty good. Circuit 2's out on the field. We're starting with our dumbbell or kettlebell farmer carry. So you're gonna have 2 dumbbells or kettlebells. And you're going to start, okay? Shoulders, we're not shrugging or hunching our shoulders down, back away from our ears. Our pelvis is tucked, and we're walking all the way down to the white, okay? And then all the way back to the blue. After that, these get fun. You have a plate. Okay, we're gonna do a plate shuffle. So we have 10 plate shuffles and then 5 ground to overhead. So when you bring that plate to the ground, it's always on the wide part of your shuffle. So ground, shuffle. Okay, you're gonna do 10 of these where the plate comes down in the center. When you get to 10, then you're going to hinge back and do 5 ground to overhead presses. Good morning, early bird. Okay, so with this, it's gonna be really tempting that when you get to this spot, instead of sitting that butt down and having good squat mechanics, it's gonna be really tempting to just do this and bend down, okay? Avoid that. Make sure you sit that butt down, that chest comes up, so that when you're bringing that plate overhead, you're using your glutes and your major muscle groups and not just your back, okay? So you've got 10 shuffles, 5 overheads, 10 shuffles back, 5 more overheads. So 20 shuffles total, 10 ground to overheads total. Then you grab the plate, and you might do a different way on this than you did with the shuffle, but we're doing a, how did she word this? A squat plate rotation with a raise. So this plate is going down, bilateral squat. Okay, bring that plate down to the side, and then as you come up and press, you're rotating to the other side, kind of pivoting this back foot. So squat, rotate that plate down, and come up, okay? So here to here. You're getting kind of a full rotation of the core. Make that move kind of explosive so that you have a little bit more momentum helping to drive that plate up and across. Okay, so we are going to use a little bit of momentum on that one. Then we take the plate again, not a 25 most likely, and we do a weighted bear crawl. So we've done these a few times. I really like them because you get immediate feedback about what your body is doing. So you're going to take this plate, you're going to put it on your back, okay? Kind of sit it kind of in that nice little meaty part of your back for those of us who have lots of meat on their back. And then you're going to come up into your bear crawl and you're going to do 12 forward, keeping that plate nice and stable, okay? Trying not to move your hips too much. If you move your hips, you're going to get that problem where you can feel the plate moving, and then you're going to go back, okay? Slow, small steps are the key here. That way, you can control that plate. But it's really great, because if it's wobbling side to side, you know that you're moving your hips too much. If it's knocking you in the back of your head, you know that your butt is up too high. So listen to whatever the plate is doing and adjust your mechanics accordingly. After that, we have a supine banded bicycle crunch. So whatever poor mini bands we have left out there, you're going to put around your feet, okay? And you're going to bicycle crunch with that band, opposite hand or knee to elbow, with that band around your feet. So it'll add a little bit of resistance on that extension of the opposite leg. Okay? Do that for 20 minutes, and then we run again, beginning, middle, and end.